Hello geographers, today we're going to talk through a 6-mark figure assess question. This is a coastal question and it comes from the sample assessment material. So aims to develop figure assess technique and to review a model answer. Just to remind you of the structure of the paper, this type of question would come up in section A and section B and would be at question 3. So a 6-mark assess and likely a figure assess question. It's really important to note that if you're answering a 6-mark figure assess, or indeed any assess question, you will be receiving 2 marks for AO1, so your demonstration of knowledge and understanding of key processes and concepts, and 4 marks for your application of that knowledge. If you are answering a 9-mark figure assess or a 9-mark assess question, which would be in section C, the weightings would be 4 marks for AO1 and 5 marks for AO2. So let's have a look at this specific question and break down the wording. So we're given a picture of the Holderness coastal landscape and it's clearly showing some change here in the foreground. The question itself says, using figure 7 and your own knowledge, assess, so really good AO2 word there, the role of mass movement, alarm bells ringing about AO1, upon the development of this area of the coastal landscape in Holderness. Be aware that the word development doesn't refer to human development, it refers to the natural physical development of the coastal landscape itself. So my AO1 key knowledge is going to be from identifying a form of mass movement, to then explain how it occurs and to show that I understand that key process. The AO2 that I need to develop in my answer is using evidence from the picture to assess the importance of mass movement. So how important is mass movement, or possibly is it something else that creates this landscape? So let's have a look at the figure itself. The figure itself shows slumping, so already this would be part of my AO1 answer, that I can see slumping occurring here, where the terraces or slabs of cliff have slipped and rotated, slumped from the cliff face itself. The text underneath the picture talks about geology, it talks about rainfall and the importance of rainfall, so hopefully by explaining those within my answer I do my best to pick up my 2 AO1 marks. Equally, when considering the AO2 element, the evidence within the photograph, I can see the terraces as evidence of slumping. I can see the unconsolidated geology at the top of the cliff. By reading the text, I can see the importance of the type of geology and specifically the rainfall and being prone to heavy storms. So there's lots of evidence within this photo that leads me to believe that mass movement is important in creating the landscape I can see. I could possibly argue that a process such as marine erosion isn't as important as the water, and the tide mark appears to be some distance away from this part of the cliff. So I've got lots of things that I'm able to talk about in my answer. So the sort of key 3 rules that I want to follow to answer this question. In red, I want to include at least 2 knowledge elements that aren't specifically mentioned within the answer, within the figure, to show my own knowledge. And then the green, AO2, I want to refer specifically to elements of the figure and I want to assess the role of mass movement. So in order to fully assess the role, I'm going to include a final sentence, including the wording conclusion, to let the examiner know that I am giving an opinion based on evidence. So my answer that can be seen now on the screen. Feel free to pause and have a read through, and in a minute we'll break it down and see what we think about that answer. So hopefully you've had a chance to read through that. I've color coded the answer to show you hopefully where the AO1 and AO2 is coming from. I believe there's a typo in this, so I'll try and point it out as I go. So starting off, the coastal landscape of seaward sloping soft cliff can be attributed to mass movement. Figure 7 shows terraces or slabs of cliff that appear to have slumped rotated from the main cliff face. This is likely due to the process of slumping. So by identifying slumping, by using the figure and referring to the figure, I'm covering AO1 and AO2 straight away. So into some of the AO1 knowledge, this would usually occur where soft, unconsolidated, permeable rock is layered on top of less permeable rock. That's the typo, apologies. During periods of heavy rainfall, the upper section of the cliff becomes saturated. This added weight causes a large section of the cliff to slump and rotate along bands of weaknesses in the unconsolidated soft rock. That hopefully is showing off my key knowledge to a degree that would get me 2 marks. So I need to refer to the figure a little bit more to apply my knowledge to the situation. So let's pick out the text. The text in figure 7 gives further evidence that this is what has caused the development of the coastal landscape, as it states that the presence of glacial till on top of the chalk, which although porous would be less permeable, leading to the process explained above. This is further backed up with the part that states that Holderness is prone to heavy storms. So in conclusion, the photo and the text both give clear evidence that mass movement and the process of slumping is integral to the development of this landscape, although it should be noted that mass movements such as rock falls would be less important as they are more common in hard rock cliffs. It could also be said that other processes such as marine erosion are less important as the sea appears to be some distance below the top of the cliffs. So, as always, is that a perfect answer? Possibly, but possibly not. When looking at the mark scheme, it certainly would be a level 2, a clear answer, clear knowledge shown in the red part here for AO1. Applying knowledge to the novel situation, yes. Giving analysis and evaluation, yes. Making connections, yes. So very comfortably within level 2. Where it's then placed within that is a matter of opinion, but certainly towards the top. I hope that's helped. Please feel free to ask any further questions. Thank you.